I was starting to get into a bad crowd in school and was getting into trouble. And so my parents decided to move me to a little town, population 115, called Havensville, Kansas. Tiny little town. I was an outcast. Nobody liked me. I was the city boy. So I had a lot of anger. I wasn't grown up to cry, so the only other option is just be mad. At the age of 16, I stole my first car because I wanted to go back to Kansas City. First time I spent in jail for 2 days, and I have a long history of criminal behavior because of drugs. When I first got married, we loved each other, but we both had an addiction to marijuana. She found her own friends, I found my own friends. We got so distant that I started messing around on her. Vice versa, she did the same. And I just said, I'm done. Packed my clothes, packed my bags, and I walked out the house and didn't turn back. And completely abandoned my children. I didn't visit them, I didn't do what a dad should have supposed to have done because I was hooked on drugs, fast women, money, everything that goes along with that. Keep on digging, not finding my bottom. Took me 19 years to find my bottom. That was on the streets for 4 years in a cardboard box. I stayed high 24/7. And I'd get my first 10 bucks and I'd run to the dope man, get my $10, smoke it up real quick, hit the ground, wake up 3 days later, right back to wanting to get high again. Finally, I got mad one morning. I woke up after passing out, after being up for 5, 6, 7, 8 days, not eating. I said, God, I can't live like this anymore. And I did hear a voice when I said that. Give me 24 hours. I said, okay, I'll give you 24 hours. Well, it was really tough. 24 hours is not easy for an addict. And the thought come across my mind, take a long walk. I haven't eaten in days. I'm gonna walk down to the rescue mission and get something to eat. So I was sitting in line at the rescue mission, and my dad hadn't seen me in months. He'd been looking for me, and he found me sitting in line at the rescue mission. And he said, son, get in the van. We need to go to the hospital. I said, what for? He said, I think I'm crazy. I said, Dad, I know you're crazy. Sure, I'll go to the hospital and help you out, because you're crazy, not me. Denial. So I jumped in the van, we went to the hospital, and I don't know what Dad said to the check-in at UMC Hospital, but they handcuffed me and legal 2000 me because they called it. I was hurting myself because of the methamphetamine addiction, and I was put in Rocinil for 6 weeks. At that point, I was diagnosed with schizophrenia. From there, they put me in a program called Mental Health Court for people who had mental disabilities, and I did 18 months and graduated. So little to say that 24 hours that I felt God told me to give him turned into 18 months of sobriety. When I graduated, I asked my mom and dad, can I move in with you? One of the agreements was moving in this house was joining Celebrate Recovery. So me and my mom had been going to Celebrate Recovery for almost 4 years. I learned how to turn my will over to God. I'm not perfect by any means. As we say, there's times where I take over the steering wheel, but then I know enough about my past. When I start veering a little bit to the right, I go back into prayer and I get close to God again, and I give the will back to him, If it wasn't for Celebrate Recovery teaching me how to get out of my isolation, I was able to reach out to my son. I had no relationship with him for 19 years, and it was surprising that he reached back.
How it feels to have my dad back. Ah, man, it's actually amazing. He invited me to Celebrate Recovery. I initially went to support my dad. When I went, I was nervous, It was very odd to me, a new experience. I understood that there was a family there, a family environment, that people were very accepting from all walks of life. Not only were they talking about Jesus, but they were talking about how, your past does not define you. Your definition is within Jesus, and that was really what hit me hard.
It was him saying, I want to get baptized, that led me. I said, yeah, let's do it. This time around, having a sponsor, a solid accountability team, a brotherhood at Celebrate Recovery, that is the fertile soil. And It's kept me sober as long as I've got right now, coming up on 4 years. My life is completely different. I've got a family again. My parents have forgiven me. My son has forgiven me. My daughter's forgiven me. I got a relationship with them. Miracles can happen in your life. It happened in mine.